17th of March on the eastern side of the world. So good morning to everyone joining from that side. And it's 16th evening, 7 p.m. Eastern for those who are joining from the western side of the world. So warm welcome to all of you. And let's get started off with the Euro USD daily chart as usual. What we are seeing right now in front of the screen is the daily chart, which is a clear indication of the larger degree trend being on the north side, 5 waves up, and which is being emphatically followed by a 3-wave corrective decline. Of course, it has taken 2 years for the corrective wave to unfold, and ideally what we are seeing now is another repeat of the 5-wave story on the higher side. Now, easily speaking, if we go by the now either this wave impulse 5 is wave 1 of a larger degree or wave A of a larger degree. In case of wave A of the larger degree, right now we are into wave C of the larger degree. You see wave A, wave B, and wave C. if it's a corrective wave, then it's going to be like an A, B, C of one large degree. In that sense, the guideline of equality would play out, and the guideline of equality would say that okay, this is from 0.95 to 1.1275, which is 1700 points, 1200 points, sorry, 95 to 05 and 05 to 12, that is 1700 points, sorry. And if we add 1700 points to 1.07, it's going to be 1.1, 1.01, that's going to be 1.08, 1.18, sorry. 1.18 is the minimum extension or minimum target that we can expect going forward. So please remember that the longer term picture is not going to stop at 1.11. It is just the beginning of the story. Actually, it's going at least above 1.12 and possibly about 1.18. All right. So that's the case for the larger degree Euro USD. Having discussed that part, let's now go on the smaller time frames. I think the past week, the past entire week, we were expecting a corrective decline, correct? Now that decline has been very shallow at 1.0822. That is point number one. We are already partially long from 1.083040 or 50 range, or it is just the first leg of a 3-wave corrective decline, which could actually extend lower towards 1.07. Alright, so that remains a possibility still. Whether it's going to come now or later, it remains to be seen, because what we can see right now on the chart is clearly a potential 3-wave decline followed by a 3-wave rally until now. So it's not a 5-wave rally at all. It is A and then one A, B, C. It could be a triangle, this one, or an X wave. And what we see right later on is the 5 wave, so it's a 335 or an ABC, and then again an ABC, possibly another ABC lower is still on the way. Alright, because it's two corrective waves actually, so it could be a complex WXY as well. Alright, whatever the case it is, whether it's formed a bottom at 823 or it's going to drop further towards the 720-25 range, the point we are trying to make here is it's good to remain on the long side, because we are moving in minute wave 1, wave 2. I think minute wave 3 is unfolding, and then we should be having minute wave 4 and then wave 5, alright, going forward. This is the scenario. Now within minute wave 3, I think it is quite possible that we are extending the third of third wave is still extending, and here are the sub waves of the third of third wave. We've got wave 1, wave 2, and wave 3 is still not complete. Possibly the third of third wave is also extending, where we have wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, 4, and 5. That would be minute A degree wave 3 and then wave 4 and 5. Alright, so we are still pretty much far away for the fifth wave of a minute degree to complete itself. Alright, sir. So that's the wave story on the 4-hour chart, and trading point of view. We have already initiated once again on the long side from around 830-40 zone. I think from the even the portal we remain long from 850, and going forward it looks like minute wave 3 in the making, right? Okay, if prices drop towards the 725 zone, which is also a possibility, then we would initiate another long position even in the portal, and it's suggested to go long as well, and stop loss for the euro can be placed at two places. I mean, technically correct, it would be technically correct to place a stop around 1.05. That's the wave 1 extreme, and also it's okay to place around 1.0350, whichever is uh, compliant risk reward ratio. According to the risk reward ratio, you can place your stop loss that way. At least 1.05 is okay, because that's the termination or the extreme of wave 1, right? So this is the scenario in the euro as we move forward. All right, let's move on to the dollar index. So the euro remains firmly on the long side, quite a bit shallow retracement. I don't know if it is planning for a deeper one. Let's have a look at the daily chart and also the candlestick pattern, if there is any. We don't have a pattern yet. I mean, possibly remain both sides. I mean, it can resume higher from here as well, or it can continue lower towards 725 and then turn higher. I think we'll leave that with now, and please remain on the long side. And let's go back to the dollar index now. I've kept the candlestick chart as it is. Let's have a look at what dollar index is playing out. There you go. It is a corrective wave. It is definitely a corrective wave that is being played out, and possibly the correction is over as well. But we'll have to see. We don't see a very clear pattern here, but it's a sell-on rallies case. Let's turn it to a bar chart and let's view the wave structure on the daily chart first. And it's a clear story of a 5-wave down followed by 3-wave up, and ideally it should be followed by 5 waves down. So we've got 5 down, and followed by 3 waves up. Ideally we are now going to see or witness another 5 wave lower, and that should be equidistance. Wave 1/A should be ideally equal to wave 3/C, in the sense that we've got 1500 high 115 through the 99, so almost 1500 points, and 1110, that is 110 less 1500 points to 95, and that would be the wave A equal to wave C there. Alright, so it's a long way to still go. That's what I'm trying to say, I'm trying to suggest. Alright, let's move on to the hourly and 4-hourly. I think a 4-hourly would be good. Now this is what we have kept the arrow. First things first, the wave structure is indicating that we've got wave 1 at a minute degree. It could also be at a minor degree. We might have to change the degree later on, but we've got minute wave 1, minute wave 2, and minute wave 3 in progress. And if we dig lower, it is minute wave 1, minute wave 2, and minute wave 3 in progress. And further, if we dig lower, it is sub-minute 1, sub-minute 2, 3, possibly 4 is complete, or it's going to complete around 104.90 and turn lower again at around 101.57. Alright, so that's going to be sub-minute level. Wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 completing around 101.57, which is going to be minute wave 3 and then 4 and 5. Alright, that's the story in terms of the wave degree. So we are we have either completed sub-minute wave 4, or we are still going to witness another high around 104.90. Trading point of view, now we've already initiated shorts around 104.20, right, 104 actually, and possibly it's also being sent in the portal, but you might want to consider selling further if prices rally towards 104.90, and then take it over all the way towards 101.50, but that's not going to be an end. It's going to be just minute wave 3, and followed by a wave 4 rally back towards 103 possibly, and then towards 97 going forward. Alright, so that could be the story. There is minute wave 4 is still at large. So this drop is hardly closer to completion. It's almost midway. The only thing is that it's be prepared for price action to rally towards 104.90 before turning lower again. All right, so that's the only thing. We are already short, but we can add further and be prepared to add further around 104.90, please. So that's the story in the dollar index. Let's move on to gold. We've added shorts in the portal again aggressively on Friday around 3,000 mark. It's quite possible that minute wave 4 could be complete again at 2830, and minute wave 5 is now progressing. But if you realize, if you see the progressive path, I've labeled as a benefit of doubt, giving to the large degree trend. I've labeled it as a motive wave, where we've got the minute wave 1, 2, and possibly 3 underway. But another possibility, another probability is that minute wave 4 is still unfolding as an expanded flat. And the reason why we think so is the movement is 3 waves, at least for now. So if it is 3 down followed by 3 up, it's always possible for a 5 wave decline. And that decline can bring back prices towards the 28.10 already. All right. So don't be surprised if prices drop lower in 5 waves around the 28.10, and then complete wave 4, maybe wave 4 will be shifted here by that time, and then begins the wave 3, 4, and 5 story. Even in terms of the time, I think what time wave 2 was between 22nd November and 18th December. So it took around one month and a bit more than that. And 24th February until the first week of April, or the midweek of mid-April, or the end of March. I mean, it's what it's showing the last week of March, 26th of March, exactly 1 month, and add another week, maybe first week of April. So even in terms of the timeline, where wave 2, the time taken by wave 2 kind of adjusts itself by the time taken by wave 4 to the time taken by wave 4, sorry, it actually it converges around the first week of April. All right, but that's not the only criteria to just believe that wave 4 is still in the making. It's only one part. All right. But right now, what we are seeing on the chart is 3 down followed by 3 up, which leaves the room open for a 5 wave decline. And remember, 2830 was, it just fell short by a few points, 2830 last time. So that could be the story. And yeah, so let's that's the wave theory point of view. And the trading point of view, we initiated aggressive shots. Now that was a very aggressive shot taken on Friday around 3,000. We are still holding that position. And if you look at the lower degree wave counts, again it is wave 1, 2, and possibly that is a 3 wave rally. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we go by the structure, maybe we still don't have a 5 wave decline. That is not a 5 wave decline. That is That is still a potential wave 3 down. If it is ABC, it's perfect. It's completed the corrective decline. But it could be a leading diagonal as well, where we have wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4 is kind of unfolding as a triangle, and then wave 5. If that structure unfolds, then we'll be more than happy to sell another one aggressive in the portal. Right now, we're not really convinced that the top is in place, because what we see in terms of the price action is an ABC decline, not a 5-wave decline. All right, so that's the story for now. Let's see how it unfolds in the next few hours. Maybe by the London Times, we should be quite clear about what is happening. All right. But right now, maybe we've suggested to remain flat. We have taken aggressive shot in the portal, but that is a very aggressive shot. You might want to remain flat for now, and we will come back during the London Times and suggest what to do next. All right, sir. So that's the positioning goal. If you are aggressive long from 3,000, I mean, we have suggested a stop around 3,100. That's a huge one, though. But it's a potential wave 5 termination of wave C at a minute A degree. Let me have a look at the RSI as well. You see that RSI was diverging as well when that high was print. So, but again, what we are now seeing is a turnover from 51. All right, the RSI turning higher from 51. So that is also a point to be considered. It should be clear in a few hours by the time we are back in London. In the London session, what would be the next move in gold? But I'm keeping it open for another 5-wave decline. Otherwise, we might have got just that wave 4 termination in place around 28.30. Okay, since we are here now, we can have a quick view at the candles. It's a shooting star actually. That was a shooting star on Friday, and but we still need to go much deeper before declaring that it's a top. Normally we don't act on a normally it's when the prices are up, you don't really look at the bearish patterns when the trend is up. All right, so that's the story in gold. Uh, Aggressively short right now from 3,000 mark, but we might have to readjust ourselves going forward. And now GBP USD is a very shallow retracement. It's even a very shallow retracement, and it's beginning to cut loose on the north side again. So it goes without much saying that pound is the most resilient among all the three, and we are already long, not in the portal, but we've suggested long around the 29.50 already last week, and kindly remain on the long side with the stop below the 2500 mark. That's the 28th February low, and that's the only best place to remain stopped. Or you can move, yeah, 2500 is a good one. I mean, it's also the wave 1 termination. All right, so that should be a good one. All right, Bitcoin now, we've got interest. We already have trading position in Bitcoin. Now, an interesting wave count is producing in Bitcoin. If you look at the structure, we proposed a minute wave 1 complete on the downside. All right, so it could be wave 1, wave 2, and then 1 of 2, 2 of 2, 3 of 3, sorry, 1, 2, and that could be wave 3 completed. We've got wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 should be wave 3, and then a corrective corrective pattern triangle, wave 4, and finally wave 5. So if minute wave 1 is complete as an impulse, there are two implications for that. Number one, it has carved a larger degree impulse lower that could be the beginning of a downfall. That is one way to interpret. And the second way to interpret is that it could be a part of an expanded flat in the making. All right. Either ways, the most common part is a rally, counter trend. It's either going to be a counter trend rally or it's going to be a rally towards new high. We don't know yet whether it's going to be towards new high or not, but at least a counter trend rally towards minute wave 2 could be very much possible. All right, that's why we initiated longs. And if we look at the subdivisions now, it could be wave 1 and 2, and then possibly wave 1 and 2. And if it is wave 1 and if it's ones and twos at different degrees, and if wave 3 is extending right now, it's going to be like a good one on the north side. But if you look at it, it's wave 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 at the 61.8% right now. The next one could be much higher. All right, so we are long in the portal from 80,000 mark. I think it was last Friday when it triggered our positions. We haven't changed, or we haven't booked profit since then. I think let's go a bit longer. Let's try and see how the price action behaves. Is it going to be a third wave extension? If the answer is yes, then we are going much higher, beyond that minute wave 2 projection. All right, that could be the story in Solana as well. Let's have a quick look at that. We'll come back with the indices during the next session. But that could be, I'm not very sure, but it could be 1 2 and 1 2 as well in Solana. All right, will be, but an absolute or a more confident trade in Solana could be seen, maybe when we are back in the next session. We don't want to see prices dropping below that 120 mark, and if it follows a turn ahead of 120, then it could be a third wave extension as well. All right, so be watchful. Let's remain a bit watchful in Solana right now, but let's also be prepared for initiating longs. All right, so that's the story as we move into the Tokyo Sydney overlap for all the crosses and metal and bitcoins and other coins. Now, indices we are going to be back discussing during the London times or possibly the New York session. But right now, let's take it a pause here. And once again, thank you for tuning in as always. And until the next one, please do take care and God bless. Goodbye.